Welcome to the 1993 Marion Indoor Supercross Championship Series here in Marion, Ohio. Tonight we kick off round number one. We're about set to get underway with our pro class. Right now some discussion is how we want to handle tonight's starting procedures and so much more with our American Motorsports staff. Now stand by, we've got 26 different classes to run 2 motos tonight, so we've got a whole lot of racing action to come your way. A lot of these riders figure that a key factor tonight in winning and doing well here in the Indoor Supercross Championship Series at American Motorsports is getting off the starting line very, very good. Now, as you can see, these riders aren't going to have a lot of room. Not a lot of room. It's going to be very, very tight on the start. When they come off there, they're going to have a very short time to get into turn number one. Now, turn number one is very, very tight compared to the outdoors. Outdoors, you have so much more room. You can stay on the gas longer. It's going to come down to who wants it the baddest, who's going to stay on the gas the longest, and who's got the guts to hang in there, and who's got the guts sometimes to go into the wall. It's going to be very interesting when we have more than 10, 15 bikes headed for turn number one tonight as we get underway with our racing in round number one of this Supercross Series. Folks, down here on the floor, if you'll notice, our bulldozer is doing some last-minute track work. Now, what he'll be doing tonight is making sure that this Coliseum floor doesn't get too slick. We brought about 1,120 tons of dirt in here. It's kind of damp on the floor. It's going to pack quick. So his job is to make sure that it stays pretty loose over on this side and, of course, on this side. He'll try to cover the whole track as the night progresses. But what he wants to make sure doesn't happen, if you notice on some of the other portions of the track that the dozer hasn't been on, it's getting slick. It's starting to shine a little bit, and that's always a good sign that it's going to start getting a tad slick. So we'll bring him on, have him disc it up a tad bit, and that keeps things safe for the riders. What you see right behind me right now is our 125 pros coming out. We are just about set to get underway with racing here in round number one of the 1993 Marion County Supercross Championships. These guys aren't qualifying like the other riders do. Most riders qualify during the day before we get ready to race. These fellows are going to do it tonight, right in front of all the hometown folks who made it out to spectate tonight. So buckle up and hold on. These fellows are once again going to be qualifying. It's dog eat dog. If they don't qualify or finish in the top of their class in these heats, then they don't get a race in the main event tonight. So we'll have 2 heats of 125 pros, as will the 250 pros. These fellows will be out. Once again, the top finishers from each of these heats moves on to the main event, and of course we'll have a consolation class. So it's dog eat dog for the pro class. They're not racing for the money, or excuse me, not for the trophies, but for the money. Should be interesting. Start in 2 minutes as we get set to race, or actually set to qualify with our 125 pros. Gated down and into turn number one we go. And indeed, it looks like Tommy Collier has an early advantage. However, he is stuffed outside and a couple of pros out of shape. Everybody, it looks like, made it. No, we have a couple of down, and that may be Tommy Collier, the guy that I was going to be, actually said was going to be tough to beat. Break for the guy that I was dragging on just a few minutes ago. Number 4, Tommy Collier on that Suzuki. Tommy got off to a pretty decent start, then got tangled up and goes down again in some traffic. Excuse me, he made it through, but he's in the back of the pack trying to work his way up. Trying to qualify. It may be tough to do in this heat. He'll get to come back in the 125 Pro Consolation, but a tough break early on for Tommy Collier on that Suzuki. Bike number 4 is the guy to watch out for, but he's having his hard luck here in this first heat of 125 Pro qualifiers. We got to communicate. Kind of a disappointment for bike number 4, Tommy Collier on that Suzuki. Tommy, normally very strong. He had some problems in the first turn, made it through the whoop-de-doo section, then got in trouble in turn number 2. That cost Tommy. He's not going to qualify in round number 1. He'll come back in the 125 Pro Consolation to try and make it to the main. We bring on round number 2, actually heat number 2 of the Pro qualifiers. So buckle up and hold on. This is the second round of qualifiers for a 125 Pro class. As you can see, these riders are having a very tough time with what you would call a very tight track. Right now, that is bike number 312. That is Chuck Reed. He's got to be a favorite when you talk about this 125 Pro class. And right now, he is well on his way to winning this qualifying heat as he comes up and over the Coors Canopole. These guys will be trying to qualify in 7 laps. Bike number 4, Tommy Collier on the Suzuki, and the guy on the Honda, number 11, is Chuck Reed. Those two guys are going to be battling it out dog eat dog to move on to the main event. Here we go. Out of turn number 1, that is Mike Morgan on the Yamaha. He has the early advantage up and over the course catapult. Morgan is your leader. Out of turn number 1, and he is quickly starting to open up some kind of lead as he shoots through the whoop-dee-doo section once again and heads into the back portion of the track. Catching quite a bit of air, which is very, very common here on a supercross track. These guys probably spend more time up in the air than they actually do on the ground. Mike Morgan well on his way to moving into the main event. And what a way to do it by winning your qualifying heat. Looks like one of our riders having some problems down there in turn number 2. He's out and okay. Tommy Collier back there on that Suzuki, currently riding second. And right now we've got a real good race developing for the lead. It is Morgan and Rob. Morgan on the Yamaha, Rob to the inside on the Suzuki, and you've got a new leader. Bike number 72, that is Rob riding that Suzuki, leading the way. It is Rob, Morgan, and Collier, 1, 2, and 3 here in your 250 Pro Heat number 2 qualifying class. Once again, 7 laps this evening for your 250 Pros and your 125 Pro class. Even in the qualifiers, and still a good race out there in front between Roth and Morgan. Roth, Morgan, and Collier, 1, 2, and 3 as the white flag flies for these 250 Pros. Final lap around the Supercross style trap. Up and over the course, catapult, your leader goes. Down the front section and through the finish line, and your leader. Down on the gate with 125 Pro rider and also 250 Pro rider Tommy Collier out of Chillicothe. In that first 125 Pro qualifying heat, you had your problems, Tommy. Got off to kind of a rough start. What are you going to have to do to get up there and be in the top of this class to make it to the main?
I'll just have to hit a good hole shot, and I'll just have to be consistent and not fall down again.
Wish you the best of luck. We're set to race with the 125 Pro consolation class. Right off the bat, we got out to a good start, a clean start right out of the gate, and Tommy Collier is doing exactly what he said that he needed to do to win this race. Get off to a good start. He has done that, but he has quickly passed, as it looks like now his bike's having some problems. Tommy Collier is out of the race. What a tough break for Tommy Collier. I think that jump hurt him. He got up and over that, looked like that catapult, a little out of shape. And it looks like Tommy is really shaken up. That leaves the door wide open for bike number 914. That is Bear on the Yamaha. So right now, Bear is in very, very good shape to move on to the Pro qualifier. Tommy Collier's really rattled. We'll try and get a report on him. Rod, the report on Tommy Collier down here on the floor is they think that he hurt his knee coming over the course catapult. He got up in the air and he came down so very hard a little off balance, and he may have injured his knee. The medics are going to take a look outside. Maybe we'll see him back for the 250 Pro class, maybe not. One of our 125 pros a little out of shape. That is the Yamaha. He shakes it off. Not quite sure who that rider was. We'll try and get a name and number when he circles back around. But a tough break for bike number 7 as the white flag now flies for your 125 pros. And it's number 914. That is Bear out in front of this field of 6. And now we lose another 125 pro. So your leader on bike number 914 is Bear. And he'll head for the finish line, take the checkered flag, and get ready to race in this 125 Pro class, the main event that's coming up in just a few moments. Down on the starting line with Chuck Reed. Chuck out of Blanchester, Ohio. He'll be riding a Kawasaki tonight. Chuck is always very competitive in the 125 Pro class. And Chuck, you got off to a pretty good start, rode well. Here we are in the main event. What do you think you're going to have to do to win this main event tonight here in round number 1 of the Indoor Championships?
I just probably have to get a good start. I got a good start the last time. Hopefully I'll get another good start. That's what's gonna win the race, getting a good start. So that's why I'm gonna.
Well, Chuck, you've got a great starting position. You're on the inside. Is this where you wanted to be?
Yeah, this is where I want to be. A pretty, at least this gate or a couple gates on up.
I want to ease in here and maybe get a word with bike number 518. This is John Grew. John's going to be riding a Suzuki tonight. John all the way out of Sparta, Michigan. And John, you traveled a long way to get here tonight. What's it going to take to win this 125 Pro class here in Marion tonight?
We're going to have to get out of the first turn real good and then be real consistent through the whoops and keep it up, you know, and just keep moving. I think it'll be all right.
And we get the word, fire them up, we're about set to race. Hold on, buckle up, you're going to need your seatbelts. These guys are racing for the bucks here in Marion tonight. These are the 125 pros, ladies and gentlemen. How about a little noise tonight here in the Marion Indoor Coliseum? Into turn number 1 they go. Side by side, 3 bikes into the wall in turn number 1 as they come out of that first turn in this feature. That is bike number 90. Joshua Steele on the Team Green Kawasaki leading the way. Steele looks very, very tough right now. The guy trying to chase him down is Chuck Reed on bike number 3 as well. One of the bikes into the wall on the far side. That is bike number 408. Willis Groove. Willis is okay, but the action is fast and furious. After those first couple of laps, it was still bike number 90, Joshua Steele, out of Dayton, Ohio, leading the way. Steele, followed by Chuck Reed on the Team Green Kawasaki. Back there in third, that is bike number 80. Bike number 80 is Jay Wagner. Jay on the Honda out of Warsaw, Indiana. Steele, Reed, and Wagner, 1, 2, and 3. Bike number 974, that is Chris Cart. Back there in fourth place, Chris riding the Suzuki. And oh, what a spill. Up and over the Coors catapult. I'm not sure who that is, but it looks like they're in pain, and now another bike goes down. 2 bikes into the track. Now Chuck Reed sees that Chuck is around, but that's going to allow Chuck to make up some time. A tough break for a couple of riders who went down in pretty tough position. As the rest of these pros duel it out. Guy out in front of this field is bike number 90, Joshua Steele. He has led it since the first turn. And right now he continues to lead. Chuck Reed still back there in second place as they move into lap traffic. Steele a little Folks, how about it for your 125 Pro feature heat winner tonight? This is Joshua Steele on bike number 90, the Team Green Kawasaki. Nice ride, Josh. You win the cash tonight, and you got off to the great start. And, of course, the guys that I talked to over there on the line before this thing started, they all agreed you needed to get in turn number 1 before anyone else. You did just that and didn't look back. You had Chuck Reed on your tail for a while, but you did nothing but increase your lead. Good ride.
Thank you very much. The start was kind of we had a little bit of a toss-up going on. There was a few ruts in the first turn, and we got that taken care of. I got the spot I wanted, and it all turned out the way I wanted.
Behind me here, the 250 Pros. They are set to go, ready to race. They race just like the big boys, the 125 Pros. They're racing for the money. Stand by, should be a good race. Watch out for Chuck Reed. The long shot in this race would have to be Bear, bike number 914. He did well in the qualifiers. He's expected to do well again. Here we go. Well, folks, that wraps it up. Nice ride for Chuck Reed in the 250 Pro class. How about it? Got off the gate, led it from start to finish, wire to wire for Chuck Reed. Good ride. Let's hear it for him. Chuck got off the gate, got into turn number 1, and just like the Joshua Steele did on that Kawasaki in the 125 Pro, you led it from wire to wire. You look pretty smooth out there.
Yeah, I got a good start, and that's the main thing. Get a clear view in front of you, and didn't have no trouble, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Had a good race behind you. Shannon Rhodes and I believe Mike Roth, bike number 72, were really dueling it out for second place. And I think that may have helped you because you pulled away a little bit as the race progressed. And those two dog-eat-dog battle back there behind you really helped you, and you pulled away and you look good.
Yeah, I see him coming up there at the end. I got hung up with a few lap riders at the end of the race, and I see him coming. But I'm just glad it was over.